Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It's more Final Fantasy Day. Ooh. Coffee's nice. I realize too, now that I say that it's more Final Fantasy Day, we haven't streamed on Fridays for about like 3 weeks to a month. Just because things kept happening, life kept happening, but also because I'm trying to be a player in a game of Daggerheart at like a local game store and try to, be a part of those communities, right? Make friends and all that, and I'm probably not going to go back to that game store. So my Friday nights are open again. So we'll be streaming on Fridays again. As far as I can tell, as far as I know, as far as I'm aware, we'll be streaming next Friday, which, as weird as it is to say, is Good Friday. For some more Final Fantasy VII. I think I have the day off work. I think so. It's so weird that Easter is in early April this month. It's so bizarre. It's weird to me. Easter, I always think of Easter being like in the middle of April. Like second or third Sunday of April, instead of the very first one. Crazy place. But here we are. And now we're doing more MSQ for Final Fantasy. We're in 7.3 proper now, I believe. The quest Targeted Tragedy is the first quest in 7.3, because I think last time, I forget what even happened last time. Well, let's see here. I can't. What? Is that one? Those are all the extras. Okay. Well, I don't know what the hell happened last time. That one. I know we found the city of, like, the actual castle of Alexandria. It's a duty. The Underkeep. I know we found that. And we were tested by, Doc McStuffins, whatever the hell his name is. But then after that, I forget if there was like a big revelation. It was, we fought one of Alexandria's and Queen's Fiend's old generals, who was a character in Final Fantasy IX, who was made into an Endless. And that was bad. And I don't even think I've attempted that fight again since. That makes me sad. That was a fun fight. But I think that's where we are. Is the bartender's name Melancholy? That's a fantastic name for a bartender. Yeah, the back room? Yeah, we're going to the back room. Now we are here, talking to people. What happened? If you have a moment, Matthew, Gion wants to take stock of the current crisis. Oblivion may be lacking the finer details in certain areas, so we'd like you to lend your perspective to the conversation. Sure. There's a child. He has the power of science, an anime on his side. And he wants to do things to our bodies. Sorry to drag you into our meeting, but we need to get a better handle on the threats Alexandria is facing right now. Not at all. Much has happened since the state funeral, and a clearer idea of where things stand would be beneficial for us as well. First things first, then. Let's discuss the state of the machine malfunctions. Every single sector... Oh, that's right! They sold or gave away 500 of the ear doodle things to make them an endless, and people were like, should we, shouldn't we? Is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? We don't really know. And there were robots attacking citizens, yes. Every single sector reports instances of sentries attacking citizens without provocation, and vehicles suddenly becoming unresponsive to controls. Excuse me. And while these malfunctions were resolved fairly quickly, they nevertheless resulted in a considerable number of injuries and deaths. But you haven't heard anything about new incidents since then, right? Right. No additional reports have been logged, as far as I know. That's the good news.
Bad news is I tried to take control of the soldiers when they started hurting people, but they wouldn't listen to me, even though I have the king's authority. Once things calmed down, I was finally able to make them give up their weapons, but if it happens again, I don't know if they'll ignore me like before.
The king resolves authority is about the highest there is. Who is this man that can override it with such impunity? Calyx. He lived in the age of the storm surge as I did. Something's going on with his eyes. Something's happening with his eyeballs there. Lest you forget, he was known for his advancements in electro technology, and it was he who established preservation for the purpose of furthering his research. The wasting disease which afflicted him, however, was said to leave him scant years left to live. He must have chosen to undergo conversion into an endless that he might continue his efforts into the present day. But then he wouldn't need a tube in his neck. Preservation's early goals seemed noble enough, exploring treatments for Levin sickness, designing Everkeep's core system, that sort of thing. Why harm the people he was ostensibly trying to help? I do not pretend to fully understand Calyx's motivations, only that he appeared incensed by what he saw as mankind's failings. He asserted that the strategy of adapting our species through generational succession was outdated, that evolution now requires us to forsake bodies of flesh in favor of eternal preservation. We've already seen how he's employed the simulant to convince Alexandrians that endless conversion is their only hope for survival. Eternal life is assured for the 5,000 who register their neo-regulators. Neo-regulators, that's right. That's what the little beep boops are called. But this is merely one part of Calyx's greater plan. He wants the key to interdimensional fusion. With that relic in his possession, he will draw ether from the reflections and expand his efforts to create endless 1,000-fold. And that's bad. I like how I look there. It's gonna have a 1,000-yard stare being like, shit, what did your soulish say about that? What is she? Would she be mad? Yeah, that's bad, it's bad. If we mean to fail Calyx's schemes, then our only option is to determine where he's hiding and put him down. Which, unfortunately, is easier said than done. I've been scouring the terminal we found in the depths of Everkeep, but I failed to uncover even the slightest trace of his activities. Give me a little more time, though, and I'm sure I can sniff him out.
I'll help you.
Thank you, child. While Galulja and Shale are working on that, I think I'm going to take a look around town. I want to make sure no new problems have cropped up, as well as search for any information that might lead us to Calyx. Calyx. You're welcome to come along. Another malfunction could happen at any time, and I'll be glad to have some brawlers at my back. I don't know if I've said it before, but I like how Kryl is now the only Scion that is helping us out at every step of the way at this point in time in the MSQ. Because she was there the whole time in the MSQ and did nothing. And everyone was like, wasn't this supposed to be her expansion? The writers went, you know what? You're right. She's going to be there at every post-MSQ quest. And you're like, oh, jeez. Okay. Good. Come in. Raha and the others are helping Oblivion patrol the other levels of the keep, so shall we stick to the streets of Solution 9? Sounds like a plan. Thanks you two. I appreciate the company. I have to speak with the city's administrators about bringing in the Lands Guard. I want our soldiers around to protect those who are moving to Tuliolel. Alphino and Alize will be joining me for the meeting, so the three of us can cover that sector as soon as we're done. If I may, I'd like to join Matthew's group if you'll have me. The more mouths to ask questions, the merrier, as long as you're aware of the dangers. Thank you. I'll do my best not to be a burden. I'm more worried about you, Geo. Don't do anything stupid. We'll change your tune once we get back with the goods on Calyx. Then the drinks are on you. I know what I'm doing. Come on, let's continue with this outside.
Let's continue this outside.
I wonder if you could do that with every single last line of a quest before the quest accepted. Probably not. That'd be too good and too funny. All right, who's here? Where are we going? Who's on first? What's happening? Geode, talk to me, man. What's happening? We're all just kind of staring at one another. What's going on? Hello? What's happening? Yes, those two are having a domestic. Is that our business? Sorry, I was off in my own little world. Shall we get started? Are you alright, Geode? Me? I'm well enough, given the circumstances. Those people. My son and daughter. It was the Queen's fondest wish that her subjects remain shielded from the horrors of death, and so they were for the longest time. Then the moment mortality once again became an unavoidable fact of life, they are greeted with an outbreak of bloody violence. Many are bound to give the endless alternative serious consideration. Indeed, and I do not blame them for that. It's only natural that such thoughts should come to mind. What I cannot forgive is the way Calyx wields fear and misery to manipulate people into making that choice. Ooh, that would pretty cute over on her on her left shoulder, but on her right shoulder, that guy angry. He mad. No one, not Calyx nor anyone else, should dictate how we cope with the specter of death. As one who lived as an Alexandrian, I wish to put the choices for this country's future back into the hands of its citizens. And you think we can handle that responsibility after everything you've seen of us? It is what I've seen that has convinced me you can. I awoke 4 centuries later to find our people living and laughing beneath Alexandria's banner. Though surprised and bewildered, I was overjoyed to see it so. You all deserve to be happy. Well then. We'd best not let you down. Now, I suggest we move as a group. Don't know if or when a battle might find us. Oh, I believe someone came prepared for just such an eventuality. She has books. Is that the grimoire you retrieved from the old castle? I like that it's got a little bit of electrip on it. That's slick. Yes, my parents gifted it to me when I was a child. They were adamant that I should learn to protect the things important to me. I was fortunate enough to have a tutor in the arcane arts, so I lay claim to some small measure of skill. If that's the case, it might be better if we split into 2 groups after all. It would certainly be more efficient for information gathering. I guess that makes sense. The 2 of you can take the west side of the recreation zone then. Matthew and I will take the east. Very well. We shall end our patrol in the plaza just past True of You and await you there. Let's go talk to some people. Let's do some cold calling. Let's do the rounds then. Let's see what's what and chat to the people we meet along the way. Pay special attention to anyone who looks overwhelmed or overly excited. Hopefully that'll earn us a tidbit or 2 we don't know before.
Escorting again.
Somber citizen. Oh, well, you don't seem very excited at all. Are the sentries and air wheelers safe to be around now? I just know it's going to happen again, and maybe next time I'll be the one who dies in a horrible accident. I need a neo-regulator. Becoming endless is the only way. Even Queen Sphene said so. And we know she'd never be a robot. Ah, the memories. I used to drink around here all the time. I made sure not to overdo it when I had to work the next day, but once we were past the busy season, or when the ladies weren't amenable to my company, well, you'd have to scrape me off the street outside in the morning. Or afternoon. The worst I ever got on what should have been the worst day of my life, if only I could remember it. I was still wearing a regulator back then. It was also the day I first met Shale, although I guarantee she's forgotten it completely. I don't know about that. Maybe. Hello, grieving citizen. You want to hear my story? Well, I appreciate you offering a sympathetic ear. There's not much to tell. If you must know, a good friend of mine died when those machines went crazy. His air wheeler dropped right out of the sky and he didn't survive the crash. Damn fool was wearing a regulator. I know it's not so strange these days, but he never bothered with one. He was at peace with the idea of dying someday, and I thought I understood what that meant till it happened.
Who could do such a thing?
Ride around on an air-wheeler?
No, die! Who could do such a thing? A light-hearted citizen. Well met. What has me in such a fine mood, you ask? Well, I've just registered my new regulator. I was leery of becoming nothing but memories at first, but now that I've gone through with the registration, I've never felt more at ease. Also, once it was done, the regulator displayed the current numbers. Of the 5,000 slots available, only 3,800 have already been filled. So if you're still hesitant, you've not much time to make your mind up. Mark my words, friend, when there's only a few slots left, it's going to get very ugly. Matthew, a word? I feel like there was a new factor in these stories we've heard. One we hadn't considered during our discussion with everyone in the back room. Fights are likely to break out over neo-regulators? The fact that nearly 4,000 people have registered is worthy of its own report, but are you sure there wasn't anything else? People are still deathly afraid? That's a point of concern, don't get me wrong, but I think we were acutely aware of it already. Yes, that's it. The vast majority of residents have always worn regulators, so it's not a detail we'd normally think about. With the supplies of souls cut off, though, more and more people have been going without them. We need to look into the casualties from the recent attacks and check whether or not they were equipped with regulators. Let's ask around on the street over to the east. It was pretty chaotic at the time, but maybe we'll find eyewitnesses who can help us confirm if that was a pattern or not. Okay. Where are these people? Oh, we gotta go around. Whew. Coffee. Let's see, are we getting close? We're getting close to this, whatever this is. Look at that T-Rex. Yeah! Well, this one's my job to deliver goods by hover cargo. That's why I know a fair number of names and faces throughout the city. The little ones who jumped for joy when I brought them packages, the old lady who'd always greet me with a smile. I'd hate for anything bad to happen to them. I mean, me too, guy. I don't know what... I don't know who's sitting there being like, good riddance! Hello, how are you today? Please let me know if I may be of the... Hi, did you murder anybody recently? Not today. Citywide casualty data unavailable. Government officials are currently processing reports from all affected zones. Can you narrow it down to the recreation zone then? You must have some estimates on hand. Recalibrating parameters. Injuries, 87 individuals. Casualties, 19 individuals. Casualties equipped with regulators, 0. Okay. Hello, sanitation worker. You wish to know if the people who died in the machine rampage were wearing regulators? I'm sorry, but I was assigned to clearing away debris. I didn't see any of the deceased. No bodies were present by the time I arrived, so I assumed the ushers had already done their work. I do remember there being patches of white dust scattered about that were quite a chore to clean up, but nothing else worthy of mention. White dust? Matthew, I think it's time we rejoined Krellin's theme. I was half joking with my boast to Shale, but we may have stumbled upon something major here. We should share our findings and keep pursuing this avenue of inquiry. Didn't Krell say to meet them in the plaza just outside of Trueview? Let's get going. White powder? White powder, you say? Targeting those. Hi! Oh, wait, isn't the gym? Yeah, the gym's right back there. There they are! Speed! We found a conspiracy! It's a huge conspiracy! The government's taking over the robots! So, essentially, you're saying that the people who were killed by malfunctioning machines weren't wearing regulators? Yes! That's what we just told you! You could tell by the way we were gesticulating. Couldn't you? No, you weren't speaking. God damn it all.
Well, the numbers are still tentative and only apply to one zone. We don't know how they'll stack up against the overall data, but this is definitely more than a coincidence. I think it's safe to say that anyone who had removed their regulator was a priority target. Now that you mention it, the person I was treating for injuries wasn't wearing one either. But why? Why are they being targeted over everyone else? To help put the fear in those that are to register. Based solely on the lack of a neo-regulator, we cannot judge if a person has no desire to become endless or if they simply fail to acquire one of the limited devices. But those who wear no regulator at all, they have clearly rejected the old system of using souls to revive themselves. Put another way, they have chosen to live their lives in the knowledge that death is an inevitability. The chances that such resolute people would wish to become endless are far lower, I would imagine. And so Calyx has chosen those least likely to accept his visions as victims to stoke fear and panic. Yeah. But there was no need to kill anyone. With the way things were, the people were already fearful enough. He could have found 5,000 willing citizens without all this madness. Yeah, it's because he's a crazy person. That's why he did that. You make a good point. Perhaps the sowing of terror is in service to another scheme, or he had some other need for the lives he's taken. Well, he can't harvest their souls because they don't have a regulator on. What of the dust found at various sites? Yeah, what about the white powder? Right, the sanitation worker's story. She saw no bodies, but mentioned piles of white dust. Dust, but no bodies? Now, where have I heard that before? Do you recall when we went to save Erinvale from the sentries in the outskirts? That usher, Malachi, told us much the same thing. Oh, people are just being dusted. When I arrived, I found no body, only a pile of dust which the wind quickly scattered. Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it. They're just being disintegrated.
With disintegration beams.
That both stories speak of missing remains is suspicious enough, but the shared mention of this dust is too much to ignore. In that case, we should confirm if this substance was present at other sites and attempt to ascertain its nature. Following this thread may lead us not only to an explanation for the missing bodies, but also the intent behind Calyx's murderous actions. I agree! Let's go sniff out that dust. Hello?
Matthew, we need your help. I've lost control over the soldiers in the residential area. They might be trying to hurt people again. Oblivion members are on their way now, but are you close enough to join them?
I mean, I gotta run. There's white powder. Damn it, our new investigation will have to wait. Let's go. Or I could, I could let something happen. I could let some kind of horrible accident occur and, find the white dust afterwards. Oh. They're pouching. Now they're punching the robots. What is this madness of robot-on-robot violence? Oh, that one was taken over, and now this one is being taken over. Oh, it's just scanning for regulators. Time to move. Oh, that's creepy as hell.
Stay back! Stay away from me!
Time to move my body.
Leave him alone.
I got a giant sword. Time to move my body. I'm starting to believe maybe that's how I lived so long, because I just kind of let other people do shit.
I'm just like, oh no, I could have done a thing.
Are you all right?
No!
What happened here?
Why are you asking me that? Of course I'm not.
A sentry walked into my apartment, even though I'd locked the door and everything. I managed to run, but the man who tried to save me.
Is he dust? Is he becoming dust? Is he dusted?
No weapons, which is to be expected, considering all the sentries were meant to be disarmed.
And they are.
Yet it was ordered to attack all the same. even if that meant using its bare hands.
Dear God.
I'll leave matters here to you. I'm going to do a sweep of the surrounding area.
Sure thing.
No regulators.
Do you know anyone else in sector who no longer wears a regulator?
Oh, I don't think I've seen Isadora and her boy with theirs recently.
Welp. They're dead.
Go to them, quickly!
Move faster than you did for this, gentleman. What do you expect me to do with this giant sword? Oh, they've actually got, like, more than sentries. They've got, like, weapons running about.
Wyaquay!
I'll be fine. But Isadora's in bad shape.
Oh, if only I was a healer for this cutscene.
Mother, please.
Oh, come on.
Isadora!
Here we go, here we go. Come on.
Oh, thank goodness. She wasn't struck anywhere vital.
I'm sorry. If only I'd gotten here sooner.
But healing magics work. That's what healing magics is for.
Everything will be all right. I promise to make your mother better.
I could see under your hood.
Thank you, miss.
It's weird that you just look like our queen, who died recently. Like identical, even. That's bizarre. Anyway, thank you. I won't question it further.
Will she sleep like that forever?
No, just for like 15 or 20 minutes.
No, not forever.
Well, that is
She'll
forever.
wake soon. I'm sure of it.
That's good to hear. Thank you for saving her.
Can we have people, like, put on regulators but not turn them on? Or, like, not connect them to anything? Is that a possibility? You know, like, oh, I've got my earbud in, but it's not on. Or, like, Bluetooth is on, but you're not playing anything. Could you do something like that? Is that doable? Wyaquay.
Forgive me, I was reckless. Shouldn't have had to waste time tending my wounds as well. Did you see our other comrade back there? He stayed behind in the lobby, but I heard the sounds of fighting. I'm sorry, I must have fallen protecting the residents. Let's get tacos. Comrade, you think he might have been struck down? If he is wounded or worse, I should go to him. Wait, please, it isn't safe and you still need rest. Will you stay with Milos and watch over Isadora for me? We will tend to your friend. I thank you. Please be careful yourself. Just be careful of yourself.
It's not a thing. I know it's not a thing.
But it could work all too well.
No one's dust yet. No one's been dusted.
Oh, my word.
Coffee helps, I guess. Oh, Jesus. I'm still yawning like crazy.
Isadora's gonna be alright then? I'm so glad. I've just finished my administrations here. Our oblivion comrade was beyond saving, I'm afraid.
Oh, there he goes. A brave soul, he gave his life to save another. He died protecting me. I don't understand why any of this is happening. That sentry was behaving normally like any other, then all of a sudden it tried to kill me. Weapons or no, Calyx commanded them to commit murder.
So let's get rid of all the robots.
Is it over? We came as soon as Wyakway sent word.
Gasp.
I'm sorry. By the time we arrived, it was already too late. Then Geode could be in trouble too. Once we have this radius locked down, we need to find him. But why? Has something happened? He just went outside. Possibly. We're not sure what, but he stopped responding to our communications. We need to prioritize securing the residential sector, though, at least until we regain control over the sentries. Then we should search for Geode. I agree. Since most Oblivion members have sworn off regulators, if our theory holds true, then they could be prime targets for the next attack. Please do what you can to shepherd the residents to safety, but avoid the sentries at all costs. Thanks. Here, take these communicators. We know you already have link pearls, but take these. We've made modifications to them to prevent Calyx from intercepting the signal, and I'm using them to coordinate movements with allies in the vicinity. So if Calyx knows what's going on, then we have a mole. That's what I'm hearing. Hold on, I gotta check something. Oh, yep. Yep, of course we did. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wyakway has one too, so I'll ask her to keep hailing Geode. Good luck, and stay safe. Oh, I got a bunch of... Got a few coffee grounds at the bottom of my glass. Geode said he would sweep the surrounding area, so you shouldn't have ventured too far. Let's get going. We couldn't find Geode, but we found this mysterious pile of dust. That is not the way outside. It's through this door here. Yes, through a door. See no sign of Geode. Perhaps you should search further to the east. Geode! Dude, Geode! Where could you be? See no sign of Geode. Wyakway's voice crackles forth from the communicator. Geode! Geode, answer me! There's no response. Perhaps we should continue to search further to the east. Keep going! It's not gonna be like... somewhere... maybe... Oh no, that one was taken out. See no sign of Geode. The neighboring residential radius would be the next logical place to look. Next radius. Do we have access to that? Oh, there he is! He's alive and well!
This is the only place left. Let them be safe.
Geode, are you there? Answer me, please!
I'm here. Sorry for the long silence. I've been busy.
That face like, ooh.
Oh, you're alive. Thank the gods. Where are you now?
The radius next door. The lobby is secure. I'll scout the second floor. Then I'll join it.
Oh. Okay.
tell somebody what you saw before you
What are
get shot.
talking about? What's happening?
They're not just collecting souls. They're draining the bodies of corporeal ether. The dust that we saw was all that was left of the victims. They must have modified the soul cells.
It's walking weird. It's walking weird.
Well, I'm just walking down the street.
Shit.
I'm finally coming back from my quest for milk and cigarettes.
You can bring extra bullets?
Damn you!
Don't throw. What are you throwing your gun for? What? You just put bullets in it.
You can't be here! You need to run now!
Yes?
What the fuck? They're setting up stings? Yeah, and you threw your gun like a dumb. Time for punches and kicks. Time for punches and kicks.
Take care of the others, eh?
No, dude, come on. It's time for punches and kicks. Oh my god, they're setting up stings. That's insane.
No sign of him so far. This way, maybe?
There's gonna be a pile of dust. He's dusted. And gun! Careful, it could still be dangerous. Crowd, paint a barrier. Oh, jeez. God, it's so dark and creepy. At least you told people.
A shame. I had hoped to leave here with at least one more cell's worth of ether. But seeing how eager you are to interfere, I shall cut this foray short.
You're like, who could it be?
Calix.
Yeah, of course we'll recognize it. Does he need to have his face too? How would you not know?
Could you possibly stand to gain from these atrocities?
Sphene, he just told you batteries.
Ether sufficient to generate 5,000 endless. How would you acquire it?
How would I?
Until I have the key, the reflections are closed to me. Thus do I make do with the sources at hand. 7%
It's just
of
science.
Alexandria's current population will yield the energy to convert 5,000 into endless. With 11%, operations could continue unabated for 800 years. Our bodies are fated to decay sooner or later. These ones refuse the gift of eternal life, so what difference does it make if I return them to ether now?
What a bastard.
I will not waste time and resources on meaningless conflict. This unit cannot offer you worthwhile resistance.
So if you will excuse me, I'll just take this battery.
I pose a question. Would you hand over the key if I promised to halt my harvest?
Harvest. Oh my god. Yeah. Yep. I'll halt your harvest by defeating you.
It was foolish of me to even ask. I return to my work then. There is much to do if I must take the key by force.
And you just turned them off? You got the ether and then just left it there? Yeah, dude's just a psychopath. He's not like, oh, I got some more ether, time to flee. I need this for my batteries. Nope, he took it, has it, was like, I spent time getting this, bye. What a moron. Geo died. God, that's so creepy. They're literally taking whatever ether they can, and when they do, the body just breaks down to dust.
Okay.
Like, truly nothing left. Because even if a body dies, you would bury it or burn it, and if you burn it, it releases the ether into the air, like naturally, right? Or if you bury it, it returns to the planet and goes back to the ether stream, or the life of souls, whatever they decide to call it here. So like the ether returns in some way, and here it's just like, well, this is what happens. Like when all that's gone, there's nothing left. So the body, you know, there's no decay, there's no nothing. It literally just, this is all that's left. This pile of dust, these ashes. And the soul cell he left behind. Was that his twisted way of returning Geo to us? I don't know about returning him to us, but he's just a bastard. Damn you, Calx. Damn you and your careless cruelty. He was our friend. Even so, some might say every death was justified if it meant 5,000 endless could continue their immortal lives. And if a reflection stolen ether allowed for many more endless, why, that too would be a noble sacrifice for the greater good. Who could think that? Not I. Certainly not I. We know only too well there is not noble in this sacrifice. We have to stop him. We have to find Calix and put an end to this madness as soon as possible. And under no circumstance can we let the key fall into his possession, Matthew. It falls to us. We will thwart his plans here in Alexandria before he can terrorize innocents in reflections elsewhere. Nod. Us triumphant music. We're still standing over the dust of the body of our friend. Is that just going to be here forever now? We should return to the back room. Shale and the others need to know what happened. Yes, I'll ask Wakaiwe to meet us there as well. Wayakwe to meet us there as well. Old dude back there is just like, oh, I'm dancing. Life is good, baby. Oh. So he's dead. Figured I'd just tell you all at once. Also, what a way to go. But we have his ether and a USB. He can be a computer now.
Our dear Geode. The soldiers. If only I'd been able to control them.
I mean, that's
isn't
not
your
the
fault,
problem anymore,
Elijah.
little guy.
The blame lies with Calix, and with him alone. It's all so senseless.
I like her hair. I know that's not the tone we're trying to set, but I like her hair.
Why force his plans upon us when we're already happy? Living our lives. What does he even think life is? I'll never forgive Calix for doing this. Or myself for being powerless to stop him.
You were somewhere else. What is happening? What?
Wait, where are you going? To clear my head. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid.
Okay, good.
Stay here and get some rest. I'll make sure nostalgia stays out of trouble.
Thank you.
The little of Lalafell feet.
Things would have been far worse if you and Geode hadn't rushed in there. Many people are still alive because of you.
I mean, to the first apartment, yeah. Second one was a total sting.
And after adding what you discovered to the leads we've dug up, I'm hopeful we can determine where Calix is hiding.
Oh, like where he actually is? That's some info.
But not right now. We need time before we can move on. Just a little time.
Oh, Geode.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go do some wrestling. Just I turn real insensitive. Like, all right, well, I'm gonna go to the Arcadian. I'm gonna wrestle some dudes. I'm gonna fight a giant snake. Another comrade gone. Some days it's almost more than I can bear. Geode was an older brother to Nostalgia and me. Shell knew him longer, though, and has surely taken it the hardest. And that's on top of what happened to Kakiwa. Do you think you could check on her? See how she's doing? She'd like to put on a brave face if it's me or my sister. Sup, Shale? I know I just literally delivered the news to you, but how are you doing? Apologies, my mind was elsewhere. Where could it have been? We need to press on with the hunt for Calix, but I can't seem to focus. I should be better than this, I know. Grief is weird. As you said, you need time to work through it. You're right. I ought to heed my own words. As it stands, I'm of no use to anyone. Kakiwa used to say the best thing to do with grief was to let it all out. So I think I'll take myself over to Earth and Sky and say my goodbyes to Geode. Why don't you come along? I could use someone to blubber to if you've a shoulder to spare. Sure, I suppose. Alright then, let's get out of Everkeep for a bit. It's a fair trek on foot, so I've arranged for a couple of air-wheelers. They've had their communication modules removed, so even Calix shouldn't be able to seize control of them. Say the word and we'll set off. Oh yeah. Oh, nice. The air-wheelers are Argent's babies. You won't find a smoother ride in all of Everkeep. Oh, I want one. Oh, it looks so cool. They're so expensive. For years now, I've been taking one out for a turn whenever I needed to lighten my mood. They're fucking awesome looking. Look at those. That's cool. Sometimes Geo would come along too and we'd end up racing. Does that surprise you? Friendship always had a competitive edge. This is what I miss that like World of Warcraft had, like an auto travel system between points or so you could just kind of look around and take stuff in. We would often talk about how one day we might fly over wheelers outside the dome. Yeah.
just like taking in all the sights and seeing things. It's cool. I like it. It's hard to do that when you're just moving around all the time.
Getting from point A to point B fast as you can.
Almost there. Be sure the ground is clear before you touch down. Oh, madam, I have flown mounts before. Don't you worry. Phew, that helped clear my head a touch. You know, Matthew, you might be the first person I've ridden with who wasn't an Oblivion recruit. As far as I can remember, at least. Memories from my regulator days aren't exactly reliable. Come on, let's head inside. Hopefully the way will be clear of pests today. Pests today.
Oh, no, there's pests. There's pesty-doos. Boom! The way is clear.
Thanks. We can usually avoid such encounters, but sometimes they wander in and block the only path. Not that it slows you down at all. I've never seen you fight up close before, and the surveillance feed clearly didn't do it justice. Hopefully this keeps the route clear for a while, shall we?
Oh, I don't know very well, child. Maybe you'll have to fight something.
Oh, that's nice.
Whenever we lost a comrade, the three of us would come back here to reminisce. Me, Geode, and Kafkiwa. Will you raise a glass?
No, I'm pretty tired. I will in spirit. No, to Geode's memory.
Oh.
I'm still Madge.
What are the two of you doing here?
Getting drunk.
I had a feeling you'd show up. Would you like to join us?
I suppose I could spare a moment.
This is a nice song. I like this song. It's nice and soft. Eat nice.
They tell us Oblivion's founders disappeared some decades ago under mysterious circumstances. And it was Kafkiwa who revived our organization. You and Geode helped her with that, didn't you? Tell us more about it. You're keen to know too, right? What they were like back then. The mad things they got up to. That sort of thing.
I'm a little curious, yeah.
Those were the days. It was actually right before the Reformation that I met Geode. I still wore a regulator then. I'd recently lost someone close to me. I'd also quit a long stint as an adapter to work at a bar of all places. They paid me to sit with patrons and keep them company.
Oh, that means something.
So Geode came in one night. It wasn't long before we got into an argument. First-time customer, but tempers flared. And then one of us threw a punch.
You got into a fist fight? What were you even arguing about?
Damned if I know. We were deep in our cups.
You're the bartender.
Frustrated and angry. everything. By the end of it, we were both sprawled out in the street. A pair of drunken fools. Then this odd machine stopped to lecture us, scolding us for obstructing the foot traffic and not taking better care of ourselves.
I can't imagine you ever being in such a sorry state. The odd machine. That was Kafkiwa, I take it.
That it was. Once she was done upbraiding us for our unseemly behavior, she launched into a recruitment pitch. Kafkiwa explained that she wanted to protect the outside world from Zoralja's invasion, to keep him from bringing ruin to the place her beloved son lived. And if we were so intent on self-destruction, then perhaps we might consider risking our hides for a just cause. It was a lot to take in. I hadn't given much thought to what lay beyond the barrier, and learning that Kafkiwa herself was already dead was enough to make my head spin.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
But Geode and I were intrigued by her ideas, and wanted to see this future of hers come to pass.
Geode often spoke of it. He told me that meeting Kafkiwa was what first taught him the value of remembering people.
Like he was sharing a holy revelation.
Oh, but back then you hadn't yet taken on Oblivion's name, had you?
Is that so? I just assumed.
It hadn't been Kafkiwa's intention to carry on Oblivion's legacy, nor adopt the cause your parents championed. Not initially, at least. She wasn't even aware such an organized resistance existed. She did, however, suspect the presence of other dissidents. Those who objected to resurrecting the memories of the dead in defiance of the natural order. In the hopes of identifying like-minded comrades, we began searching the core system for traces of unauthorized access. And that's how we found it. An anomalous sector in the back of the Neon Stein. According to Melancholy, the door to that mystery had remained firmly shut since she took over the business.
The back room.
The back room. We forced our way in, only to discover that the hideout had long been abandoned. Although the occupants were gone, the equipment they'd left behind contained records of a group calling itself Oblivion. After reading through their exploits and their vision for the future, we made the decision to carry on their work.
Thus were my parents' and Kafkiwa's hopes bound together.
And carried onward by Shale and Geode.
We could never have made it this far on our own, of course. Not without the strength of arms you and your friends provided.
Oh, that's whatever. I'm just a tank. And a healer before that. Woof, that was... Oof.
Losing comrades is a hard thing. But being here, thinking back on the moments we shared, I could see their smiles, hear their laughter. I feel their presence, and I know they're still with us. But these memories of mine are for me alone. Reminders of why I chose to do this. And why I'll stay the course. Right. Time we got back to work. Thank you, everyone.
No, it's me who should be thanking you. Though the pain is still deep, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it anymore. Let's get out there and put a stop to Calyx. For you, for me, and for everyone who's ever believed in Oblivion.
Okay.
I look at Jill and I'm like, she's got great hair. She was like, she's got great hair. I appreciate you helping me through this. And not only the grief, you've helped me see that my comrades mean even more to me than I realized, which only fuels my determination. I'll be spending every waking moment working to bring Calx to account for his crimes. I'll do my part, then you do yours. Livia needs you. Oh, shucks. It's time I went back to locating Calx's lair. I have a new strategy in mind, but it remains to be seen if it will aid in narrowing down the possibilities. I'll ask Kral for help. I want to re-examine the data, starting with that of her parents. After all, they were the first to break away from preservation and establish an organization resistance with Oblivion. There must be something in there that can point us in the right direction. What are your plans, Matthew? I don't know, talk to the next person that says to talk to them. Hello? Matthew, is that you? Apologies for calling suddenly. I've been making the rounds in the outskirts, and I cannot help but feel as though something is amiss. Might I ask you to join me? Perspective would be most appreciated. Wow. Words. It can wait. It can wait until you finish attending to Shale, of course. I've got a thing to do. Seems your plans have been decided for you. Go on. I've others to speak with before I return to the back room. Okay. Oh, it doesn't work. Have others to speak with before I return to the back room. It doesn't work. No! My theory foiled! It was fun when I got to believe. Hello, Sphene! Matthew, thank you for coming. As I mentioned, I would benefit from your worldly experience. So, but not here. Perhaps it was my imagination, but the townspeople appear to be acting oddly. That is, even considering the current state of affairs. As I am yet unfamiliar with the outskirts, I thought you might be better equipped to judge if their behavior is unusual or not. Would you please speak with them and see what you think? Though I hope to be proven wrong if something is not right here. Okay. Okay. Oh, please tell me you brought more Neo-Regulators. Officially, they've all been handed out already, but I've heard rumors there were a few left over. Surely the government still has some, or perhaps Queen Sphene? I may not look it, but I was a hunter once. Back then I hardly gave death a second thought, but now that I know the truth, it's all I can think about. There has to be a way to hold on, there has to. Oh boy. They are acting weirdly, and it's because they're all scared to die. Greetings. I remember when you visited with Queen Sphene. Want to check on our well-being, have you? Well, I can say that things are rather stressful out here as well. Without knowing if or when our machinery might turn murderous, the specter of death is ever present. People are terrified, and the clamor for Neo-Regulators has reached a fever pitch. I personally was fortunate to have claimed a new device early on and have long since completed the registration. Death has no hold over me now. Now I must begin my prayers. The darkness draws closer, growing deeper, and we must cast it out. Oh boy. Way bad. You're not wearing a regulator. Don't you know the end is coming? Well, it's your life to lose me. I've got myself one of those Neo-Regulators and registered a little while ago. As soon as I did, a display appeared showing the number of registered users. Right now it's sitting at 4,168. The upper limit was 5,000, wasn't it? Seems the total shot up right after those machine malfunctions. It's only a matter of time before everyone's registered. I pity those who weren't chosen, but I'm going to be an endless. I'm going to evolve and live happily ever after. Okay, buddy. You. I'm actually gonna ride around on a llama. I'm sorry, an alpaca. So what do you think? Was I right to worry? Yeah, fear is palpable. Yes, that is exactly it. People are overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear, and with each new registration, that fear inside them grows more insistent. How long until it drives them into full-blown panic? Yeah, hello? We have full-blown panic! Matthew, can you come to resolution? We have full-blown panic! We have a problem. I'm already here with Lamati and Alphino. Alrighty. We've got a problem.
Sounds like she wants us there in a hurry. We should go.
Can we ride bikes there? No, okay. But I just want to ride my motorcycle. Cool. We shut that place down.
Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Yeah, we shut that place down. Place is shut down. We shut it down. We shut that off. That's turned off.
Death is your constant companion.
Okay.
Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn.
Okay. This surely
Though
won't
you
cause a
enjoy life
panic.
of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you. Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail.
I mean, no. Okay. Even that guy's like, oh my god, I can feel the heart attack coming. This is some WebMD shit.
Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning.
But we could with a regulator.
The choice is made without reason. The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
Why is this a
The
public announcement?
began after we finished our meeting with Gotham. As for its source, well,
Yeah, there's only one place it could be coming from.
Alex.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death. Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity. Hope for it, wish for it, pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step. But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
Why'd you kill her, Queen?
You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuliolal.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us?
I mean,
Even if
fair
we wanted
point,
to
yeah.
become endless, there are no more neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion.
Did you not hear what the television said? We're all going to die one day. That's been proven.
No matter where we go, or who
This
we
is science.
shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
And it can only be done here, where the Wi-Fi is.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
Whoop, it's drawn sides. This is bad.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated. Tulishola will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
Yeah, also, Wuklama, like, you remain calm. Like, you're getting anime angry. There's no fucking need.
I want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do?
I mean, maybe stop this weird scientist guy from harvesting souls.
I am not their queen.
Calix has access to the core system, which means that if he chose to do so, he could deploy the soldiers beyond the barrier. Even if our people learn to live with death and decide to leave the dome behind, they will not be beyond his reach. I mean, there he's going to have to contend with armies. Yet if it serves to allay their fears even a little, I beg you, Wuklamot, please let them shelter in Tuliyollal. We will welcome any and all who want to come. They've already begun evacuations and will be able to pick up the pace once the Landsguard arrives. In which case, we had best spread out and keep an eye on the crowds. The mood is tense and we must prepare for possible violence. If you happen to determine where Calix is hiding, though, we'll be ready to move at a moment's notice. Surely we'll find a clue of some kind soon. He can't elude us forever. Well, I hope so. We've only got maybe like 6 more main story quests in this expansion content. Think of the content! Violence and fear. This is not the future she envisioned for her nation. Tuliyollal will gladly welcome every last Alexandria with open arms. Open yawns. Oh my god. But what of the nation that Late Queen was so desperate to preserve? What of that bright haven of peace and laughter? Lamont. I won't stand here and let her legacy be sullied any further. I will protect Alexandria. That was the promise I made her at the last. But she betrayed you, did she not? Why do you feel this obligation? I saw myself in her, I suppose. We both felt the people's joy as our own, yet alone we lacked the strength to protect them. There's so much that I love in this world. Too much for me to take in my arms and keep safe, and that made me afraid. I needed someone who shared that love and fear, so together we could do what we couldn't by ourselves. Or maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe I just wish that we could have been friends. So when she turned to me in her final hour, desperate to safeguard Alexandria's future, I swore that I would see it done. In the end, I think you both found the friends you needed. I would be yours as well, Sphene. Whenever you fall or struggle to rise, I'll come running to the rescue, and you do the same for me. That's how we'll protect the things we love. That's how we'll protect Alexandria. You're right. You're right! Yeah, just let him have a moment. Let the action figures kiss. Right, we got a bit sidetracked there. We should probably be on our way. Do we patrol or see if Shale needs a hand? There you are!
Oh, sorry, there you are!
Gloria. Ah, splendid. We were afraid we'd miss you. Alizé and the others said you were here. Good news, Matthew. We finally found a chink in Calix's armor. We've discovered laboratories on Everkeep's 10th level that once housed a preservation initiative. Containment Complex 1029, it's called, and it's been falsely registered as a distribution center. In reality, it hasn't recorded any traffic in decades. We don't think this is where Calix is hiding as such, but it may well contain clues that will point us in the right direction. Sorry it took so long just to get this far. If you're interested, what do you say we all go and check it out together? Dungeon? Thank you for all your hard work. This is a huge step forward. Hand up.
We need to take the lift to get to the complex.
I've cleared this expedition with the relevant authorities and have one of our people waiting to operate said lift. Let's not keep her waiting. Oh my god. I cannot stop my yawning. God, they still have all the beep boop robots around despite the fact that they are, at the drop of a hat, murderous. Not here. I'm gonna go around the corner for that. Oh, another lift. Ready to head on up? Next stop, the 10th level. Oh, not quite a dungeon. Okay. It's always so weird. There's like, we discovered a new floor. I'm like, this is the only place you live. Is it that big that you're just like constantly discovering stuff?
To the point of being like, we didn't even know we had this.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
It's a clap light. I love how they're like, we can make electrope into anything, so we made chairs.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit.
You got the lights working!
Yay, the lights! Death mode reactivated. I don't like the. Can we turn the lights off again? Death lights initiated.
How stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Kryl and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City. As it was Preservation that constructed the portal, we reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
So I took a closer look, and a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author.
And their password, 12345.
We then began accessing the nodes for every door in Everkeep, seeking out control codes which contained those same symbols. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860, the entrance to the facility in which we now stand. I'd probably still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
I've had nothing to do for days.
But Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
I think she's an endless. And we have to kill her. Yeah. You're a treasure, Shale.
I can contribute precious little else, I'm afraid, but I appreciate your kind words. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx.
We're more than happy to help, of course. But I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
I mean, yeah. He's gonna realize anything. Oh, once we go through that?
It's highly likely. And personally, I hope he does.
Ooh, and fighting words. You all know our main objective. We're here to pick up Calyx's trail. And I've learned of a certain device that should help us do just that. I'll explain how as we proceed, but according to the information I was able to dredge up, the device in question should have been installed in the director's office. Now, as for where that might be, yes, this matches my data. The room we're in is a researcher's commons located in the western side of the complex. The director's office is to the northeast of here. So we should cut across this circular chamber in the middle, yes? Yes, we should, but unfortunately for us, the interior door is locked. We need a security key with the appropriate clearance to open it. Judging by the mechanism, it'll probably be a card of some kind. Can't you, work some electrope magic? I'll try my best, but this type of lock is well beyond my time. It may take a while to crack it. And in case I can't, you might want to look around and see if anyone left the security card behind. Considering the state of this place, it does seem like they abandoned it in some haste. I shouldn't be surprised if we found one. Very well, let's get to searching, shall we? Let the searching commence! I expect we'll have the most luck looking where the researchers kept their personal belongings. It might be in a locker. You begin searching Containment Complex 1029. Close cooperation will be necessary to overcome the obstacles barring your path forward. Helpful hints will appear in a different color. Pay close attention to the information provided by your comrades should you find yourself unable to proceed. And also, all of the... all this shit. Yeah, a desk organizer. No? So
some things behind. Yeah, go through this. A card-shaped object! Oh, could that be what we're looking for? Try it on the door and see if it opens. Yeah, like, you'll need to use clues and data to proceed, like, or I can click on every sparkle that I come across. Until something works. You hold the card-shaped object up to the scanner. We can't say it's a card. We can't say it's a security card because we don't know. It's like a game master trying desperately to be like, you don't know if it'll work. It's a card-like object. It's a security card. Thank you. And a good thing, too. I was getting nowhere with this outdated circuit. I am curious, though. Why would they abandon a facility like this? It was run by a director, Demetrius, or so that terminal there told me. Perhaps there are more answers to be had once we venture further inside. Then let's continue onwards. The door to the director's office is across the central hub. And we'll have to go into every other, like, a nook and cranny node in order to find it, won't we? This level 1, but it won't work. We'll need a level 2! No good? Maybe we need a different card. Yes, the scanner is demanding a level 3 security clearance to open the lock. As much as the delay chafes me, we'll just have to comb through the nearby rooms and hope we stumble upon the card we need. Let's start our search in the proto lab. That door is already open, at least. We'll find a way through together, Shale. I'm sure of it. And where might the proto lab be? Into that way's direction. Just as to start looking in the lab. The way this room is set up, the canister inserted in that large device looks to be a soul cell. Could this be where they conducted their experiments to create Endless? Ah, but we could probably spend days investigating this complex. Finding a way into the director's office must take precedence. Speaking of which, Galulja mentioned a locker over in the corner that he couldn't open. Perhaps you could take a look? I could do that. Where's the boy? I dug through this data tablet and found a journal. I'll read it to you. The results of Experiment 158 show a marked improvement in ether extraction rates. At last we have achieved the target value set by Master Calyx. Though I will become endless as per our ascendancy protocols, I will preserve this historic number along with my few remaining worldly effects. Preserve the number 158. Yeah, it's going to be 158. No. Okay. Today I began my employment in preservation. The organization was unfamiliar to me, but when the recruitment letter arrived, I had a gut feeling. Find ideals. Okay. I need numerical hints. Please excuse my impatience. The means to track down Calyx are close, and I'm itching to get my hands on them. These notes seem to be about the research they did in here. Let's take a look. Experiment 148, submitting inference candidate 201930 to be considered for efficiency procedure review. Experiment 158, maximum value of 11509 recorded. Comparative study to be included in the report. Alright then. Oh, and one more. Experiment 163, new proposal produced a result of 9834. Decreased value verified. I have no idea what any of that means. Maybe it'll make sense later on? You have anything to say about this? Prowl, you got anything? Machine feeds into a soul cell. I'm reminded of my imprisonment by the Empire. Surely this device wasn't meant to hold people. Alright, so it was one... Let me make sure that I got this right. 158. Okay, and then you had number 158 is something like 201 something. 11509. Alright, let's try that one. So I don't even know how many numbers I can input. Hooray! It's a card!
A level 2 security card.
Well done, me!
I've solved the mystery. Matthew, you've got the locker open. And you found another security card. Oh, but does that say level 2? We needed level 3, did we? Okay, I'll eat this one.
Yes, but it should still open more doors for us to explore. Is it well, Matthew? I've played Doom. I know how this works. These preservation members led such surprisingly normal lives. Leaving notes, losing their cards. I guess I imagine they'd be more, what's the word? Bloodless? Mechanical? My parents were once part of preservation, if you'll recall. It would seem that researchers who agreed with Calix and his philosophy underwent the conversion to endless entities. But I assume those who could not, or would not, eventually left the organization altogether.
Oh, I almost forgot. The researchers kept journals in their data tablets. The one I read doesn't explain much, but something big happened to the complex, and afterwards it was decided that everyone would become endless. The writer was real happy about this. You could tell how much they admired Calix and his work. The entries ended after that, but maybe you can read more in the other tablet there. Right, let's move this investigation to another room. Well, we have the Deutero Lab and the maintenance facilities left to search. Both are accessed via the southeast corridor. So it's back to the hub and locked doors across the way. Which will hopefully yield before our new security card. I'll take the old one if you like. I doubt we'll have any more use for it. It literally takes up no room at all in my inventory. So is it that one? Detailing some kind of accident? Let's see, my employment, my instincts were correct. Philosophy is a refined ideal of notions of only ever vaguely entertained that mankind must evolve. I had a meeting with Director Demetrius today. I've heard others praise his genius intellect, yet he seems but a guttering candle in comparison to Master Calix's blinding brilliance. This morning I was permitted to access the top floor and observe the workings of living memory. As predicted, the shortage of ether required to sustain the Endless is reaching critical levels, yet Queen Sphene insists on continuing her ineffectual flailing. Our Malala colleagues, including the Protolab chief, have been behaving in a decidedly suspicious manner of late. Should I report my concerns to the director? From tomorrow, I've been assigned to assist with the research project in the Deutero Lab. We are scheduled to conduct a major experiment, the details of which I have been kept ignorant. It would seem prudent to back up my memory data. Oh, okay. And they didn't have, like, another one somewhere, anywhere? Let's try the door. Beat boot magic security card-like device. So where should we go first, the Deutero Lab or facilities? Let's start with the lab. Shale, there doesn't seem to be any power here.
No, not at all. It's possible the energy supply from this room is on a separate conduit, which means there should be a contingency for opening the door. Look here, there's a sign above the car scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be rerouted from facilities. Facilities room is down the other branch of this corridor. Let's see about getting the power restored to the Deutero Lab, shall we? Poor Galulja's like, well,
Okay. But I was so excited.
puzzles and such.
Puzzles and such.
It's the PlayStation. Alright, what's going on here? What weird-ass puzzle is this now? Beepin' boopin'. Engaging power supply. No good. It's returning an error. There must be a preliminary procedure. According to this error code reference, if the power supply has been interrupted for an extended period of time, then we need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and the circuit control panels.
Shale, that's the emergency generator over there, isn't it?
Yes, and by the looks of it, it's the same model as the one used in Heritage Found. But how does it send power to the other lab? I see.
The energy cable attached to the base of this terminal leads down the hall directly to the Deuter lab. Which means we need a way to connect the generator to that cable. What about these patterns on the floor? Could this be the circuit we need to reconfigure? I believe you have the right of it. Using the control panels set into each of the tiles, we create an unbroken path for the power to follow. But I want to give her an instruction manual. Indeed, if you could look around for any written procedures, I'll keep digging through the terminal's directives. Someone to operate the generator?
I could do it. I've used this type of machine before.
Then would you be willing to try and reconfigure the circuit path, Matthew? Or else of us can help by supplying Matthew with whatever information might be found on the circuitry configuration. We gotta make the paths work. That's all it is. So it's coming from here, and it needs to be, well, no way is going to supply power. What? One set of circuit. What does that mean? Take a look at this diagram. There's a note in the bottom left about backup power. Configure the 4 circuit control panels to provide an uninterrupted path. Yeah, I got that. Thank you. Symbols must represent the room we're in. If the square in the top left is Shields' terminal, then the bottom right should be the generator. Bottom right is a square, and the top right is half a circle. Okay, so I need this to be a square. Oh, okay, so we can only have one of each of the patterns. Then yeah, this is going to be a circle. Then this is going to be a triangle. And then this will be a diamond. Perfect. Done. What? Okay. Yep, diagram, that. Oh, maybe that's the... Okay. Oh, a single uninterrupted path. Okay, I just gotta switch these. Diamond. Okay. Boom. There we go. Swoosh.
It worked. We did it, Matthew.
Yup. The Deuter lab should now be fully powered. Well done, everyone. If I may, Shale, could we access a certain data log before moving on? I was checking the storage cells and one of the labels caught my eye. Preservation in the Early Days is the title. Of course, it'll only take a moment to bring up the contents. Looks to be a text-based account. I'll read it out loud. Preservation, an Alexandrian Institute for Technological Development, was founded by Calix, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in the Storm Surge, with Calix's designs for new defensive solutions funded in large part by the Treasury. As the conflict grew in intensity and casualties mounted, Calix funneled Preservation's resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research in this field continued even after the Storm Surge came to an end, with Calix eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So the account is from before he embraced his endless existence, hundreds of years ago. I met him only once before the Storm Surge began. I was attending my father, who was then the reigning king of Alexandria. Calix could not have been more than 10 years of age and required constant treatment for his debilitating illness. Yet still he published theories so highly regarded that even the royal family was aware of his achievements. Life should not be lost to the injustice of death. Even now I can hear the single-minded will behind his words. So it was that when war came So it was that when war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to the somber youth and his proposals for preservation. Several years later, the ensuing violence brought the death of both my parents. Overwhelmed as I was by my sudden succession to the throne, I suspect they spared me the reports on endless research and other less urgent matters.
So you had no way of knowing what kind of person Calix was changing into?
Did he change? I wonder. Perhaps he has ever been the type to value ideals over compassion, and I failed to see it at the time. Or perhaps he did change, but it is still driven by those same deeply held beliefs, that mortality is cruel and unjust, and his role is to deliver mankind from this fate. Whatever the case may be, we cannot allow him to shape our future. Let's press on, shall we? If I've done my job correctly, the door to the Deuterer lab should be accessible now. I'll give everything a once-over just to be sure.
Cool! Let's go to the lab! Let's have more puzzles in the lab! Calling them puzzles is a bit of a stretch, but they are puzzles indeed.
The energy current seems stable enough. Still, you should let me handle this one. The security card, if you please. Oh, and a quick prayer that a shorted wire doesn't burn me from the inside out. Okay. You know, I could just do that. You don't have to risk your life. More tacos! Right, I'll get this door open. Whew, smooth as silk. Let's head inside and see what awaits. Let's head inside and see what awaits.
There's too many for it to be a coincidence.
Gods above, isn't that? A slushy machine.
Wait a minute. Oh, it's a duplicate. He's trying to make another one.
Key to interdimensional fusion? Looks to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key. But isn't it missing the shard inside like the one Matthew has? Ah, we may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Malala relic. Once this treasure came into its possession, preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were constructed here, so what might that tell us?
Yeah. The crystal itself is the key.
That would be the logical conclusion, yes. It's as my parents explained. The key remains shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with Electro, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion. Not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why. Now it makes sense. Calix can track the key because its vessel was made by preservation. I believe there is much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist Stola's assistance for a thorough investigation. I too am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calix's whereabouts is our priority. Hopefully there is a security card here that grants access to the director's office. The research conducted in the lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of the personnel must have belonged to the organization's upper echelons, and that means higher security clearance. We should spread out and look for any cards they left behind. Remember, anything less than a level 3 is no good to us.
Right.
Let's see here. Storage crate. No, nothing there. 3D printers. Oh, they're just 3D printing more of these things. Why are they making so many vessels? Did the other ones not work properly?
No, they just had the 3D printers and they wanted to use it.
I'll search through these drawers. One of us is bound to find something, I'm sure of it. Maybe someone left the card on a shelf somewhere. I keep holding out hope that I'll find some evidence of my parents here, despite knowing there is none. Found a security card! Hooray! Let's have Shale examine it to be sure. Well, if it isn't exactly what we needed. Nice work, Matthew.
Oh, you know.
Just your average day. Oh, level 3, that should get us into the director's office.
So what was it you were hoping to find in there again, Shale? You were saying that a certain device was going to help us. Right, I haven't properly explained myself, have I? I'm looking for a data relay. Okay. After we discovered that ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the data's routing, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep's security cameras. Considering the way Calyx is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control of the city's surveillance system and has been using it to monitor our activities. To monitor what you, as the key holder, are planning.
The scoundrel!
But since Calyx is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions, the flow of data is like a river that we can follow back to him. Which is why I need the data relay. If I can analyze the device and see where it's rerouting all this surveillance traffic, then you can pinpoint Calyx's position. That said, he has done nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think I might be on entirely the wrong track. Maybe the reason he isn't stopping us is because he can't. Back in the old castle, Calyx said he was measuring Matthew's strength. What could he possibly dream up that's stronger than him?
20 tacos.
Oh, speaking of cameras, there was another thing I meant to mention. I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also crudely deleted. I was able to restore the data, though, if you'd like to see it. Yeah, that seems important. I'll start the show, then. Yeah, please. That seems real frickin' important to find. Real frickin' important. Whomst is this? Oh, these are just researchers.
Are you really planning to leave?
Yes. The idea of eternal life. It's begun to frighten me.
Whoa.
I struggle to renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches, leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall. We die so that our species may flourish.
Get a hold of yourself, madam.
What would become of mankind were we to halt that process? If unending stagnation is the fruit of our labor, then perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
What? What a cut! Oh my god. Being like, what troubles you, madam? He's just completely like, are you still there? Can't see a thing with these bangs. And calling them bangs is being very generous. Oh my god. What's over there? Tell me what's over there.
Your argument is a rejection of Master Calyx's vision.
And that means you must be put to death.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject. But I cannot. He and I are too different, in too many ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research. I have nothing but respect for his determination. The way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. But I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come.
That sounds like treason. Oh my god. I was
Protocol,
kidding.
You understand. There can be no exceptions.
Okay. He seems like an agreeable fellow. She only wanted to leave and he executed her. I checked the images against their personal data, and the man who pulled the trigger was Director Demetrius himself. Oh, he's just looks like a moron. Everything I could find on him pointed to a deep infatuation with Master Calyx. The cameras in this room have been out of operation ever since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal his grisly deed from the other researchers. I'm not surprised, given how my parents described their defection from the Institute. They spoke of rushing me through a portal even as Preservation's ancients closed in on them. I dare not ask what became of them after that, but if it turns out that they were captured by their pursuers...
Oh, you had to give a little baby. You just gave the little baby.
I'm sure they managed to escape. I want to believe they did. And even if they didn't, I hope they at least enjoyed what time they had as endless. Oh, Kryl. Worry not, Sphene. Thanks to the Haven of Living Memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It is enough for me to carry on. Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between your parents and Preservation. But what we do know is that your mother and father cleverly expunged every last trace of their movements. They made sure no one could cross into the source or threaten their child's safety. Right, let's press on, shall we? This tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion.
To the director's office. Let's do it. Let's find the man.
Hold on, I gotta check thing. Okay, we're good, we're good. Alrighty, let's use the big door, the big key. Beep, boop, open, doot. Here we go, let's head inside. Now to find that data relay. And don't be shy, everyone. Speak up if anything odd catches your eye. Matthew, come with me. I might have need of that security card. I mean, where else would I be going? I'm not hanging out here.
Ooh, spooky.
It's a report on reducing people to ether and how much energy can be harnessed per individual. Oh, God. Kral? Did someone put baby in a corner? Oh, my apologies. I was thinking about the key.
Something's odd. Something's odd.
This Director Demetrius was very particular about how he decorated his office. We've got incense and vases and some kind of gem display. Damn, this terminal isn't connected to any outside network, so it can't be the data relay I'm looking for. This office is also smaller than the map suggested. I'm positive we're in the right room. What am I missing? Sorry, Matthew, could I ask you and the others to search this office for any clues to this infuriating puzzle? A beverage station. Having laid dormant for years, the now active coffee maker has already entered a self-cleaning cycle. It appears to have no other purpose beyond brewing coffee. There remains to be seen what it will be able to do so once more. Oh. Normally, it's going to be the office shelves. Find a crumpled note wedged between the file binders. Secure room lift access. Requires passwords to be input simultaneously at terminals in the Proto Lab, the Deutero Lab, and the Director's office. Okay. Collection of soul cells may have once belonged to the Director. They appear to be empty. So we went through them all. Among other personal effects, you'll find what is presumably the Director's data tablet. Closed locker stands next to the table. Examine the data tablet, see what's there. Pick up the data tablet and begin skimming through the contents. Daily reports. Nothing of note. The mystery of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. The key triggered an explosion today. Temporary interdimensional portal verified. Continued attempts to stabilize this core's energies reaction. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in the explosion. Memory faculties of 4 personnel sufficient intact for endless conversion. Remaining 9 designated for ether reclamation processing. Jesus. Oh. Nothing of note. Rejected resignations of 2 Malala researchers. Hey, okay. Major incident. Details in full report. These 2 inept Malala broke with preservation and absconded with the key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated, we were too late to recover the relic. The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calyx as physical instruments to conduct his experiments. Deprived of our objective, our research, our existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine the depths of his disappointment in me. The complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to ether, which will be allocated for further experimentation. Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversions will be subject to Master Calyx's discretion. If he does not deem us fit, then we are not deserving of eternal life. Jesus. All personnel have undergone processing. Once the shutdown protocols have been completed, I will proceed with my own corporeal dissolution. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition. Whether it be needed for experiments or otherwise, it must be ready to support future operations in whatever capacity Master Calyx requires. To that end, facility and equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component for secure room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. Well, that seems important. Have you found something? Yeah, I found a lot of stuff. I got a note. Now, this guy was a bastard. Thank you. A misplaced note, was it? Oh, and I didn't check the locker. Those reports seem damning enough. Instructions for accessing a secure room, no less. Seems we need to enter a password on 3 different terminals at the same time. There was no such room marked on the map, was there? No, precautionary measure, no doubt. And if passwords are involved, I expect the access lift itself is concealed too. Concealed by electrope, you mean? Ah, could it be that wall? I thought it seemed odd when I walked past. Remember when Kokiwa used to say shale? Never trust an electrope surface.
That's because it's just bricks.
Oh, yeah, we've done that before. You could pass right through electrope. Truly? Never had that property in my time. Matthew is having a little fun, I think. What we mean is electrope can project a false appearance. Well, don't blame me! In which case, it shouldn't be too hard to disable. I've done it before! Aha!
Another door!
I've managed to deactivate the projection, but the lock is another story. Didn't that note lay out the password protocol? I say we go ahead and try it. I agree. 2 people should prepare the lab terminals for input while the rest of us look for passwords here in the office. I'll take the proto-lab. I'll take the deuterolab. Actually, it might be better if you stayed, Sphene. Your knowledge of Alexandria and his people could be needed here. Yes, you're right. If the passwords are hiding behind clues, that may be something I can help with.
I can help too. I've lived my whole life in Alexandria after all.
I'll take deuterolab duty then. We can keep in touch via communicator to match our timing. Matthew, you shall have the honor of entering the office password. Once we've determined what we need to input, take your place at this terminal. I'll stand by to guide Wiclamont and Kral through the process. Okay. You know, there was that display plate over there, the one with the gems. I thought since it was made of electrope, it might have some other purpose. But I couldn't find any switches or buttons to make it do anything. Maybe you can figure it out. Ah, there's a 3rd gem missing. Where could it possibly be? 2 jewels are embedded in the electrope plate. You identify the blue gem as a sapphire and the red gem as a garnet. There also appears to be an empty slot for another jewel to fill. Should be an emerald. Which should be next to the locker. Swings open easily. Oh, creepy. But, like, no, there's nothing. So their passwords. Okay, what about Galulja? On a cube puzzle made of electrope? Solve the puzzle! Do it, Galulja! Let's see if I move this bit that connects to the circuit to that one. There!
There was something inside. It's a pretty green stone. I think it might be Alexandrite. They say these gems were so treasured in the past that they named the kingdom after them. You should hold on to this one, just in case. Thank you, and that goes over here. The gemstones fit snugly into place. Almost immediately afterwards, the glowing lines of a diagram appear on the display, accompanied by a short phrase. Yeah, it's a floor plan of the complex. As you continue studying the display, you realize that these shapes correspond to the rooms of the complex in which you now stand. This may be related to the passwords you were looking for. Slot contains a sapphire to the proto-lab. Alexandrite is in the director's office. Garnet's there. Whoop. Scrawled phrase.
Yeah, I know that jewel would come in handy. Let me see. Heed the stones.
This must be about the special meanings Alexandrians have for gems. It's an odd belief, I believe, where each type of gem means something different.
I bet if you ask Sphene, she could tell you more about it. Even her name comes from a gemstone.
I can't hit the cancel button, but I have to select the option to cancel. Yes, if you have questions, you only need to ask. What's Alexandrite? Concept of protection is incidentally also the origin of Alexandria's name. Think it has something to do with the passwords? But yeah, it absolutely does. Alexandrite, as I said, is protection. Sapphire represents honesty, and garnet symbolizes devotion. You should try those words at the terminals and see if they're accepted. I certainly hope we're right. Yep, absolutely. She should enter... Oh, wait, hold on. Because she's... Oh, God, should I have written some of this shit down? Sapphire is in the proto-lab. Garnet is in the deutero-lab. Oh my God, I need to write this down, don't I? Let's see, Sapphire is proto-lab, which means a thing. The Alexandrite is in the director's office, which means a thing. And then the garnet is in the deutero-lab. Totally spelled that wrong, but it means a thing. Okay. Okay. And let's talk with her, because I can't remember all these things. Alexandrite is protection. Sapphire is honesty. And garnet is devotion. Okay. Woklamat is in the proto-lab, so she needs to enter in honesty. Kryl is in the deutero-lab, that's devotion. And then we enter in protection. That's gotta be it, right? It's gotta be it. Beep boop. Ah! Yes! I'm so glad that worked. That secure room is the only place we've yet to search. If the data relay is anywhere, it has to be there. We'll venture in as soon as Woklamat and Kryl rejoin us. Okay. And as weird as it is to do this, we've got to call it here. It's 11 o'clock. I've got to get going. Family and I have a lot of stuff to do today. But this is a good cliffhanger. There's something behind that door, and we know what it is. I'm very tempted. I might just... Oh, no, we can't do that. So we got stuff on Sunday. So next Sunday, we will figure out what is behind this door. In the meantime, I'll keep gearing stuff up and keep trying to find stuff. I'll keep trying the crescent ledge or the crescent lunge or whatever the hell it's called. Occult's crescent. I'll keep doing some more of that so that I can try to get more relic stuff done. But in the meantime, thank you everybody for joining me today. I
I really do appreciate you. I will see you this next Friday. We will be streaming this next Friday some more Final Fantasy VII. We're getting back to that. And then more Escape from Ever After on Saturday, and then back to this on Sunday. It's getting kind of interesting. It's getting kind of heisty. I like it. So until next week, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a great weekend, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.